Good morning, everybody out there. Or should I say bad morning? It's not looking good for Nvidia today. We have some wildness going on here in the stock market. OpenAI is crushing stocks here today. We can see Nvidia is down 3.4% to start the day. That was quite the pullback, giving back essentially all of yesterday's gains. Nvidia actually had a great bounce yesterday morning and broke through resistance in a strong way, but we can see today it is the polar opposite. And SPY is now back into the big chop zone / range that it was in just last week. This is a pretty big range for the SPY. And we're right back in. Now 712 to 712.50 is clear resistance here on the SPY. It's bounced so many times. Man, that is a lot of chop on the SPY. Back and forth, back and forth. 712, 712.50. Hopefully we don't see more chop like that, but don't be surprised if we do. It might be tough for SPY to actually re-break through that 712 to 712.50 zone. It's going to be a big zone to watch, actually. Some insane stocks out there, though. Let's actually look at the watch list to the downside because there are some big pullbacks happening here. CRML, critical metals, down 12% today. Pretty huge. Oracle is down a ton with this news. I know a lot of people were worried about Oracle giving back a lot of its gains, and it's definitely is right now. We look at that daily chart of Oracle, and you can see how much it popped up in the short term within this box. It was a pretty decent pop. From the low to the high, let's see. It essentially went up like 40%. That's actually really good. More than I even thought it was going to be. But look at this big resistance from the past on Oracle. This is right where Oracle's hitting right now. Now, of course, the OpenAI news hurts today, but it would have been hard. Wow, Oracle. Look at $200 here on Oracle, too. It didn't get very close to $200 in the short term, but $200 was huge in the past. That's still going to be a big target over the next, few months, I would say, into the later parts of 2026. Hope everybody's safe after the tornadoes yesterday. Everybody was going nuts over the tornadoes. Spotify is down 11%, Ryan says. Huge fall this week. SPOT. Oh, wow. Earnings crushing them. They're down 13% now. Are they on my watch list? Oh, yeah, they are. They're right down there. Navitas is down 7.8%. Another semiconductor / chip stock. Let's see. NNE. Nano Nuclear Energy. NNE. 6% drop. Getting towards the bottom end of a recent zone, actually. It's been bouncing around this zone a lot, so now I'm worried to short it because it's at support. Eventually, the support could give out, but might be tough. Fuel cell energy down a little bit, too. Now, I loved the start to this big money trade with fuel cell, and we go look at the daily chart, and it's definitely pulling back right now, but there's still an opportunity for fuel cell to bounce off of this trend line and maybe support and still move up. Definitely possible. Dr. Zoidberg said, who else is into SoFi right now? SOFI earnings coming up here tomorrow. Pre-market, right? Believe it's pre-market. Where'd my earnings calendar go? Give me 1 second. Yeah, SoFi actually trying to hold its ground today, bouncing off of 1850. Not too bad. Here's the earnings calendar. Today we're getting Robinhood, Bloom Energy, and Seagate reporting in after hours. Going to be pretty good. You know which one I didn't check on today though was General Motors. GM. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Wow, that's a pretty weird move by GM. Popped up and coming right back down. It looks like it's giving us the finger right now. Or giving us the bird. Speaking of bird, whatever happened to bird? All Birds AI, remember this? It's up 6% today. It's been tanking back down. Wow, was it fate that we just thought of bird randomly? 6.7% here, bouncing off of 7, maybe 650 as well. At its recent low. What an interesting company, though. I think that, what was this? It was a shoe brand, and then they decided to shift over into AI. Pretty nuts stuff. Trump posted, Iran has just informed us that they are in a state of collapse. They want us to open the Hormuz Strait as soon as possible as they try to figure out their leadership situation, which I believe they'll be able to do. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Yeah, they still don't know who's in charge over there. Looking at some of the comments here. 6'7", Ryan says. I missed that part. Yeah, 6.7. Oh, you always getting me. KNMSO says, Poet, back to the upside. Let's see, POET, 10%. Very beautiful move on the percentage there, but it looks like it has a long way still to go. My gosh, if this stock actually gets back to where it was yesterday, it would be up like 150%. That's pretty insane. It'd be like 130%. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Mason, did you see those Cardinals yesterday? It was a pretty big one. RMBS recovery, YouTube Swan said. RMBS. Let's see. Rambus. That's a big 20% pullback there by Rambus. What do you think about Apple today? Stroke Warrior said. AAPL. You know, Apple actually had a lot better of a move going on than I actually thought it was going to have. It is starting to move a little bit here today. Let's see. AAPL. UBS adjusted their price target to 287 from 280. They maintain neutral. Nothing too crazy on the news there. I'm kind of surprised that they weren't moving more with the OpenAI news, you know, and the overall market kind of pulling back. But hey, they did good in pre-market, but right when the market opened, they decided to come back to reality, I suppose. I don't know. I don't love the price action following that drop today. That's really not my favorite move so far. Just don't love it. I feel like it's a very hard trade with where it is now. Tesla's like right around 380 resistance. Now, if we start to see that break, Tesla might be a fun one back up. Oh yeah, Joe Papa. OpenAI had some insane news today. It was technically like last night into today, but OpenAI linked stocks are slumping as OpenAI missed key targets. They failed to meet targets for sales and new users, reviving worries about spending ahead of the big tech earnings coming up this week. Yeah, it's not good to see them missing some of their goals, right? And even their CFO came out and started saying negative things about them, pretty much saying that they wouldn't be able to pay, I think that the word was computers contracts. Wouldn't be able to pay contracts if revenue doesn't grow enough because of how much they're spending. It says, OpenAI's growth has been phenomenal since the release of ChatGPT, but competitors are stealing a march from both sides, said Anna McDonald, investment strategy director at Hargreaves Lansdowne. Never heard of Hargreaves myself, but makes sense what she says. Wow, this is a pretty cool chart. I'm actually going to screenshot it really quick. Sorry for the music today, guys. I know the music, I tried to switch it up a little bit. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not. He said, screw the Pistons. What? Man, Tesla really is roaring back now, though. 380's coming back into play a lot quicker than I really thought it was going to be. What's up, KO? Suzuka's here only for the music. He goes, we noticed. All right, should I switch it? Let's go back to our old music. Here we go. We're gonna go with your guys' favorite today. Playing some jazz today. Go check on the spy one more time. Well, not one more time, but one more time right here. Okay, started to reject a little bit around the resistance zone, 712.50 or so, which is a big resistance. So I'm not surprised to see it hold up a little bit close to there. There we go, back to normal. Dentist office music, yeah. That's kind of the vibe I was trying to find to make it funny there. Or elevator music is what I was trying to think of. Much better now. It sounds like the Q&A room, I know. Man, SPY is looking pretty good back down off of resistance, though. It's holding up really well on that hit. It's a big zone right there. Pretty big to see SPY actually collapsing again. That's a bad sign to hold under there today at open. Now, it's also, there's a bit of a trend from the low of the day where we've had a bit of higher lows coming in on the immediate short term, and that looks like it's going to be testing now here in a moment as well. So SPY's kind of stuck here between two big levels, right? We're at that 712 to 713 range as resistance. The bottom end, which is the low of the day, is around 709.50 to 710, which is another good support. So just kind of stuck here right now. We have to see if it can break this range. We're kind of waiting for the range to break, Mr. D. It's really what we're doing right now. Of course, some people are probably going to try to play it to the downside off of resistance, and I don't blame you there. Would not be surprised. I'm more of looking for a retest eventually of 710 support today. I guess that's the next main level I'm watching for. QQQ, though. Big pullback this morning. Those of you that missed it, bad OpenAI news. hitting the market hard. If we go to our watch list, of course, there's always something moving up. Poet's actually up 7% right now. Coming back alive a bit, right? A little bit. You zoom out and they have a lot to recover, but they are up slightly. You know, one stock that I've been looking at a bit more is ORMP, Oramed. They're up another 2% today. We go to the daily chart and look at how hot ORMP has been. Now, we've been watching this stock for a while, since somewhere like around this range. I believe, no, maybe it was right here. Somewhere right here. But nonetheless, we've been watching this because it was a stock that Ben Shapiro had ties to. I think he became chairman of the board or like the largest shareholder, something like that with ORMP. And it was down in this zone between $2 and $2.60 apparently, or $2.60. So I'm essentially looking at it, okay, this stock did pretty dang well. Now up to $4.20, but you're like, why would it move up so much? Well, they make oral insulin pills. That's what ORMP does. It's oral insulin, which is pretty big. I think that this is an Israeli company as well. So if you're not into that stuff, then don't do it. But but nonetheless, they do the oral right here. Here we go. Oramed transaction will transfer Oramed's oral drug delivery platform to LifeWord. Positions Oramed as significant shareholder. ORMP. This was another deal that they've been doing. Strategic transactions. Been doing a lot of those things lately. Getting a lot of news coming through since the beginning of the year, I suppose, on that end. But not much with their actual, big breakthroughs or anything. But it's interesting, right? It's interesting to me. The company itself is. NVTS is down, YouTube says, and KNMSO says, so glad I bought Navitas puts Friday. You did? That was pretty good. Yeah, Navitas started to really tank down there off of resistance, and it got really close to $20 too. Just couldn't get a breakout going. No, it's really not that crazy, Zoidberg. It's not that crazy. All right, guys, I'm in a bit of a dilemma. General Motors today moving down 3.55%, but I need some help. What kind of vehicle? What are some good vehicles for families that you guys know? Like things that have like third row seating. What do you guys think? Volkswagen Atlas, Denali, 2024 Toyota Sienna Platinum Limited. That sounded like it went on forever. I know those though, Ramirez. I know Siennas quite a bit. I'm trying not to go after something quite like that, but I wouldn't mind. It definitely isn't too bad. I'm glad for the suggestion there, because that is something that, you know, it could be open to. Forest, I'm going. Well, we're selling my fiance's RAV4, is what we're doing. So we're going from a pretty smaller car. Yeah, the Sienna. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of options out there, isn't there? How about Tesla? How about one of those? Model X. Just kidding. It'd probably have to be a Model Y or something. I don't know. Probably not. I know that they don't make the X anymore, which kind of sucks. Tesla is breaking 380 as we talk about it, though. Looking really solid here on an intraday basis. Looks pretty great. Get the all-wheel drive with the entertainment? Hell yeah. Consumer confidence came in actual 92.8 versus 91.8. Mr. D said. See if that moved the needle at all. Yeah, of course, SPY didn't do anything. I will say, though, SPY is stuck at its lower end of this range here today. I think it's going to end up dropping down further. That's the direction I'm leaning towards right now. Was down a lot into this morning. There is a gap to fill here to the upside, which if we do start to break through this zone right here, that might be a time to start to think about riding the wave up past there if it happens. Always have to have a plan, right? If it doesn't go the way that you think, you might have to flip direction or change or, you know, stay away. One or the other. Forest has a Model Y and they love it. The Model Y and he love it. Hell yeah. We had a Tucson engine blow up after only 40K miles, never getting another Korean car again. Oh, now that's a bad experience right there. So, you know, speaking of that, my fiance owned a Hyundai and one of my best buddies had one, and both of their engines blew up too. That's funny that you said that. Both of them. Yeah, you know, Ford used to be my favorite, Zachary, but it's low on my totem pole now. I don't know what happened. Hiya, like Subaru? I wish Subaru made a big SUV. Man, Palantir, this market is just really stuck right now. It's kind of unfortunate for the good price action this morning, but it is what it is. Oh my gosh, guys. CAR, ticker symbol CAR, Avis Budget Group, moving up 6%. There we go. Little 6% ripper. I love that. What's another one? Is crude starting to move higher, or has that just been moving higher all morning? Crude is actually starting to bounce around 99 a barrel here on an intraday basis. It had a good pre-market run and pulled back into open. And I actually really like the way it's starting to move up off of these lows, and even USO looks pretty solid intraday right now compared to most setups that we've looked at. I know it's might not be the most ideal trade for a lot of people out there, but it is a sector that's been a little bit hotter today than most. Oil has. Oh shoot, hang on. Where'd my news go? Who's gonna leave OPEC? UAE is to leave OPEC in May. Wow. I'm surprised to hear that. That's a big headline. I can't believe I'm just now seeing that today. I'm actually looking for the Bloomberg's other headlines from today. Not OpenAI, though. The UAE is going to be leaving OPEC and its wider alliance on May 1st after 6 decades of membership, dealing a blow to the group and its leader, Saudi Arabia. The UAE's exit is a significant loss for the group, which has spent years balancing global oil markets and defending prices by managing crude supplies. The move is the latest indication of how the war in Iran will reshape global energy markets for years to come, with the UAE seeking agility to respond to market demand without being constrained by the collective decision-making process of OPEC. Sounds pretty big. I know that the UAE is a big player. I'm surprised that they don't have any statistics in here, like saying like that they're like the top, you know, like the second highest producer or something like that in there. I think in this one they'd probably be third behind Russia and Saudi Arabia, but tough to say. Tough to say there. Wow, this is just a wild time for energy stocks. I almost can't believe just how much energy is hitting everything right now. Just get a 4-door Jeep. You know what's funny about you saying that, KNMSO, is that I actually have a Jeep Gladiator. That's my vehicle. Yeah, now if we're actually looking a lot at Wagoneers, Xavier. If they made a Wagoneer Trackhawk or something, that would be pretty sick. That would be pretty cool. Take it to the guys that'll put a demon motor in a Jeep. Now that would be really cool. Someone said a Durango Hellcat. Now that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. No, it's the RAV4 is not a TRD, it's a XLE premium hybrid. The only thing that sucks is that it gets like 42 miles to the gallon. So no matter what else we get, it's going to be like way worse on gas essentially, but it's okay. It's funny, a couple of you have Teslas out there. I like it. CVX. Not getting the best action out there. USO was moving a bit better than CVX, I think. Off of its low of the day anyways. I kind of like the dip buy a little bit better. PLTR, Palantir Technologies. Recently hit off of 144. Cannot break it today, though. Going to Tesla. Here we go. Tesla has actually been one of the better movers from the low of the day, up 0.5% right now. Pointing up, Google's actually doing pretty good. Yeah, Google, very nice. You know, they're coming back a bit. I was wondering if maybe, like, let's say OpenAI missing targets. I was wondering if maybe that would help Google out a bit, given that, you know, Gemini is a big competitor. They might be stealing a lot of their stuff. Their customers. That's what I was trying to say. Their business. Need some better price action coming through on that market, though. SPY's still just sitting here really slow and boring at resistance. Seems like it wants to slide off, though. It looks like it's kind of confirming under the trend here, which isn't a good sign. We'll see how it goes, though. It seems like it's just slowly but surely coiling and waiting for these earnings to come out. OpenAI, though, missing the target does not paint a pretty picture for these other big tech players coming Wednesday night and Thursday. Not painting a good picture one bit. Earnings coming up this week. Gonna be big. We're gonna do a lot of fun polls tomorrow. Well, I don't know if they're gonna be a lot, but gonna be a good poll tomorrow on the earnings coming out. For today, though, I'm curious. What do you guys think for today? You know? Are you longing or shorting the SPY today? Here we go. Are you longing, shorting, or waiting / not playing it? Just threw it out there. Want to see what you guys got there. KNMSO says, I was waiting for you to give me the answer to that. That's funny. Definitely looking more down for me today. Apple does the opposite of everything else in the market. I'm looking for it to take out today's high and push, Ricky says. You know, Ricky, it has been doing very well today, and you're right, it has been kind of doing the opposite of the market. It pushed up quite a bit this morning. I don't think that that's honestly the worst outlook to have for Apple today, given the way that it's moved so far. Now, breaking through the high, I don't know, that's kind of far away, but still. Caught a small short off the 712 rejection, Zachary said. On the SPY. 712 rejection, caught it, nice, boom. Like to hear that. It's starting to actually move a lot lower now, or starting to get towards its lower end of this zone from open. There's a big support zone, like right where it's at. It just is really chopped around here today. Ideally, you know, we see it get through here, push 710 again. SanDisk is selling off, Ryan said. SNDK, the one bad thing about SanDisk is that they have those earnings coming up. On an intraday basis, I guess it doesn't matter too much as long as you're getting in and out quickly, but I can see a lot of people attempting to hold this one through earnings. Just be careful out there. Ryan Sea Dog. Is that something to do with World War II? U.S. gasoline prices rise to about $4.18 a gallon, highest since August of 2022 by AAA, Mr. D says. Damn. He says, nothing exciting, I just work offshore. Gotcha. That sounds fun. Good morning, Jesse. How do you feel about snow? Or no, they said now. Ticker symbol NOW. Service now. It gapped down again recently. Honestly, I'm a bit worried that Service Now is going to continue the downtrend here. It recently broke through a trend that it was on for the longer term. It could always come right back, but I don't know. I'm looking maybe for it to retest those recent lows. I don't love the way in which that they gap down again. Earnings, unfortunately, just didn't help. Now, if we start to see some good movement above 110 and we start to see the base truly hold down here, might not be the worst thing to look at. But for right now, I don't know. I feel like off of this pullback that it's having here, we're probably going to see another collapse. I could be wrong, but we'll see how it goes. How's that SPY? Starting to bounce a little bit. Yep, still holding this little zone of support intraday. Very choppy, very slow, like we've been saying. Let's go back to Apple, which was doing good earlier. Let's see if it still is. Yep. I think you're, Ricky, I think you had the right idea here with Apple. Ricky said, do you keep up with SoFi? Their earnings projected shot down to 22% on Polymarket to beat. No, I don't keep up with SoFi too much. They do have earnings coming up, though, tomorrow. That'll be pretty fun. They're projected to have a big move on earnings, KNMSO said. I bet they are. They're a pretty wild mover. The last time that they reported, it looks like they ended up falling from like 25.40 all the way down to 22.35. Not the craziest ever, honestly, but not good. Can you check the levels for UVIX? UVIX. Let's see. UVIX. Yeah, I mean, UVIX is down around support. Keep in mind that this is a 2x long ETF. In reality, levels on UVIX are totally irrelevant. Like, these levels are literally, they mean nothing almost. What you have to really look at is VIX. Because UVIX is going to essentially do what VIX does. Or technically, I think it's futures. Yeah, technically you need to look at VX, which is the CBOE Volatility Index futures. It's going to do whatever these do. So if you see these futures, you know, starting to run, that's great. Now notice how the futures, now if we go to like, let's say February, notice how the futures are holding $18. And notice how now the futures are higher than $18, right? But UVIX is not higher than where it was in February. Just barely. It's actually testing it. See, like it's actually like right where it was. Where if we go look at VX, you can see how VX is like, you know, there's like a clear like elevation higher. Like it's not bouncing off of 18. It's bouncing off of 1970. You know, it's still, it's a big difference. That's because these futures aren't decaying like UVIX does. UVIX being leveraged is, it really makes it play different. So if you're watching, like if you're watching, you know, UVIX, just don't look at this and say, look, this has to bounce off support. It technically lines up like support, but it's going to do whatever VX does. So like, let's say that VX goes like this and it tests February lows. UVIX is going to essentially start doing this. It's going to be breaking lows as that occurs. It's going to be going down to 4, right? That's just how this works. But I wanted to explain that because I don't want you to be buying at support and then, you know, let's say VX moves down to its support, which would be normal and you know, something to probably look for. I'd be careful longing it right now, unless you have something like, let's say the Iran war, like going through the roof or something. Thoughts on MU, YouTube said. Micron. Ticker symbol MU. Really dying off here. Yeah, that's a big drop. Down under $500, pushing $495. Oh, yeah. MU or Micron, baby. Looking solid. $492. PLTR. 140.50 to 140. UNH potential breakout above resistance. Really, United Health? Oh, wow. UNH had a great move today, Mohammed. That is a hot stock for the day. I wonder how high it's going to end up. It has weak correlation to SPY, so it doesn't really move with the market or care what it does. Wow. Yeah, I think that it's possible that resistance starts to break. I mean, it's a hot one today. What resistance are we at? Let's see. So there is some resistance coming up, like right around 367, and especially up around like 375 to 380. That's pretty far from where it is right now, luckily. I think that you could see some more good action today, potentially. It actually broke resistance, which is nice, which really good. You can actually see this resistance from the past few days. It was kind of in this little wedge here. Wow. Hang on one second. Trying this out really fast. That looks silly. It's weird. Just testing that out. But yeah, UNH looks great right now. Love it, Mohammed. 25 years later, the AI bubble and the dot-com bubble look the same, Richard said. When's it all gonna come crashing down? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it, Richard? Wish the market would start getting some action. SPY did move down, though, to 710, which was a great move to see. Right down to our target, actually, of 710. I like to see it selling off. I know it's not, some people don't like trading it down, but it definitely had that, like, bearish slide-off feel to it today. Down to that 710 target, and we ended up getting there pretty well. Hope some of you hit on that downside move. Let's see what we have here. 40 votes in the poll. Waiting / not playing is winning, but 28% said shorting, so pretty good. Are you longing or shorting SPY today? It looks like only 22% of you are longing, which is fine. And I don't blame half of you for not playing it either. It has been a bit of a slower day. Nair said, what do you think about LLY, Eli Lilly? Their setup is interesting today, Nair. It's almost like they're in like a wedge / yeah, almost like a wedge or a flag here. But it looks like it's doing pretty well. It's starting to break the top end of this in this like small trend of lower highs. It's good to see for now. I took a short position yesterday on Micron. So far, so good. Richard said. Micron, ticker symbol MU. Down 6% with that news from last night. And you held it. Wow. Held it for this $500 rebreak. Oh, yeah. That ended up being great. Richard, that's a good move. Obviously, you got helped a lot by the OpenAI news, but good stuff. Just going to go ahead and end the poll there. KNMSO said, what do you have for supports on Navitas? I have 15, 1339, 982, and 840. Let's see. 15 was pretty damn big. Now that that one broke, that kind of sucks. I'm seeing some support close to 14 to 1425. Quite a bit of bounces there. You had 1339. Let's see. I also have 1340 in the short term. That's funny. I also have that. Underneath there, though, the 1250 range is going to be pretty huge as well. 12.5 will probably be a pretty big one. And then underneath there, 1140 to 1150. And then you also had 982 and 840. Let's see, 982 is getting pretty low, but it is a support right around 980-ish. And then you said 840. Let's see. Yeah, 840, 850, whatever you want to call it, ends up pretty good too. Especially like 770. That's a really big one underneath there. And then 7 to 715. A lot of these are like ranges, remember, it's hard to have like an exact level where it's going to bounce, but generally, as long as you have the range. Yeah, 840 is pretty far away, though. I'll be honest, if we get down to 840 anytime soon, that would be a pretty insane drop, but I wouldn't put it past Navitas. I wouldn't put it past it. It's going to be a big test, though, once it gets to, like, that 1140 area. It kind of sucks to see it pulling back so hard, but, the good news is that it's been very consistent on this trend line. So no matter where the support is, once it gets to the trend line, I'm going to be extremely happy because look at all of these bounces. Like, this has been insanely consistent off of this zone. Overly consistent. I like it down in the short term, though. Good stuff. SPY got even lower now, hitting 709.20, 709, essentially our next zone of support after 710. I know it's pretty close to 710, but the SPY has been chopping lately, so there's all these little supports sprinkled in everywhere. Hell yeah, KNMSO. Yeah, that trend is big. I didn't see that at first. Tesla was like, just kidding. Haha, you thought, thanks for the money, chump. Did Tesla turn around? Yeah, they did. They had that good run going this morning, but right back into the red. They started to break yesterday's high, funny enough, and kind of faked out on a run there. Wow, Nvidia really testing support. If Nvidia starts to break 208.50, that's going to be pretty rough to see. Pretty rough. It might be hard for the SPY to keep holding if that occurs. For now, it's a big zone of support, though. Well, alrighty, guys. I think we're going to go ahead and call it there today. The market, unfortunately, not overly exciting after opening up today. I thought maybe we would get some more excitement considering that big pre-market drop and everything going on. Appreciate you, Zoidberg. Mr. D just said JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon expresses concerns that deflation is his biggest worry. Wow, deflation. Deflation would literally mean prices are going down. Now that would be interesting. That would be interesting. Wild market to be in right now. Don't forget about Wednesday. Everything's going to get heated up tomorrow a little bit. And also, it's not just that there's earnings coming up. We can't forget that there's also an FOMC meeting. Yes, FOMC meeting. Jerome Powell is going to be speaking at possibly his last FOMC press conference ever. That's pretty wild to say. All right, guys, have a great one. Have a great rest of your Taco Tuesday. Maybe we'll hear more from Taco Man himself at some point. I'm just playing, guys. All right, have a great one. Go have some breakfast. Join in on the Discord if you're not in there yet. I hope to see you in the chat here at some point. Other than that, though, I will talk to you later. See ya.